Today I'm going to take you to the two best hikes in Pinnacles National Park. Through talus passages in chaparral-covered mountains lies Pinnacle National Park, formed 23 million years ago from volcanic eruptions. We're going to hike to the Balconies Caves, and later on we will go back and we will explore the Bear Gulch Caves. The environment of Pinnacles National Parks will take you to an oak woodland through various forms of brush, wildlife, and vegetation. This hike is on the old Balconies Trail, which is 5.1 miles with an elevation gain of about 500 feet. And on the trail, you're going to notice all these red plants blossoming throughout this wilderness. This trail is very nice, very well paved, and you just get amazing views of those beautiful rock formations. So for the most part, this trail is relatively flat. And there's bridge crossings on what used to be a creek, but the creek is currently dried up, and you will see that in just a little bit.
Oh.
And this is first point perspective. You can see where the creek used to be. It's likely here during the rainy seasons, but after that you just get back onto the trail and you will pass oak and various forms of plant life. This trail is well shaded, but it does get very hot in the summer and spring. And throughout the trail, you're going to notice these beautiful rock formations on the way to the cave. I'll even point out little small caves throughout the hike. And you'll see all these little signs pointing you in the right direction on this hike. And you will go through this tunnel of oak trees on the way through. But down there is where the creek would be, and you can see another rock formation, and up there's a cave, a very small one. And this park wasn't established as a national park until 2013. So this park is relatively new. And it does attract a lot of rock climbers and a lot of tourists. And you can see another rock formation right there. You can see the holes that come through it. And you can see a small cave under there. So this is actually something that was formed from the San Andreas fault line millions of years ago. And there were Native Americans that lived among these mountains and caves. And it provided them shelter and water and resources. And you can see up there that there's another rock formation. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. You can see that there are some trees along that rock. And you can see that massive rock wall right there. And just to think that these were actually formed from volcanic eruptions is pretty impressive. And there's another rock right there. And then you're going to get to this point where we're getting pretty close to the cave. We got 1.4 miles or 0.4 miles, excuse me. And you're going to see that gate entrance. And before you reach that gate entrance, you're going to notice the pinnacles on top of the mountains. So the way those rocks are pointed upwards and they're formed and they're shaped, that's what the park gets its name from, is the pinnacles, hence Pinnacles National Park. And on the way to the cave, you're going to see all this green moss along the way. And the canyon will start to close in a little bit. But you will see that there's water as you get closer up to these caves. And you will get these nice little stair carvings through the rocks. And you will have to climb over some rocks before you get to the cave. And when you get to the cave, there's even going to be some more rock climbing you're going to have to do. And there's a small cave right here. And right now, you can see that there's a cave entrance right here. So I'm just going to go past this gate right here, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. So this is the inside. The light comes down through the hole of the cave, but you do have to climb under rocks to get to the other side. And just remember to bring a flashlight. And this is the rock I have to climb underneath. And there is some more rock climbing that I was mentioning before, which is this part. But once we get more into the depths, it's going to get darker, and I'm going to pull out the flashlight and show you what it actually looks like. But that's the gate where we came through. And just a reminder, this is Balconies Cave. So you can see the darkness right there. I'm going to go ahead and flash the light, and there's actually some stairs that you have to climb through to get through this tunnel or this cave. So right there is the stairs. You can't really see it from here, but yeah, right there. And you got to climb through those rocks up there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to climb through that right now. And there's the other side of the cave. And you can see some light brimming through there. Alright, so I'm going to enter this stair section. And right now we're climbing through it and going up through the cave. So this is actually pretty neat. That you get this nice little adventure. And just be careful when you climb up here because it's kind of slippery sometimes. So just watch your footing so you don't hurt yourself. And you can see the light coming down through the exit of the cave. So I'm going to go ahead and climb up through here. And then when I get to the other side, there's going to be this narrowing with these boulders that you have to go underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and go underneath these boulders right here. And this is the part where you have to crawl. And you can see more light coming down through there. This is pretty impressive how they have these just massive boulders in between this rock. Once you get a little past this, you're going to go ahead and you're going to find the exit to the gate, and you're going to see this massive rock wall right there. So this cave is very impressive. It is comparable to the Bear Gulch Cave, which we're going to explore later on in this video. And I also have another video that explores the High Peaks Trail. And when you get to this point, you're basically going to see that little sign right there where we looped back around. So that's pretty much the end of that cave. Now we're going to go to the Bear Gulch Cave, which is a mile drive away from the Balconies Cave, or the Balconies Cave, excuse me. And then you're going to pass up through this little wooded section, and on the other side there's a parking lot. And right there is the entrance to the Bear Gulch Cave. So this is just a map showing you how to get to the cave, and it'll say the Moses Trail or the Moses Spring Trail. So this is a really short hike. So you could do both hikes on the same day because they're relatively short. And on this trail, there is a bit more greenery on this trail than the trail to the Balconies Cave. And right here, you're going to see a right and a left.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on the left side, which is the part that will take you up to the Bear Gulch Cave. And you will see these nice little rocks with moss on them. And there's going to be a nice cool tunnel that you could walk through. And I'll show you what it looks like on the inside of the tunnel as I make my way through this. So I brought my flashlight and I'm going through the tunnel now. And it'll just take you to the other side. And that's the exit through the tunnel. And down there is like a creek. But it's dried up right now. And you get all these nice little oak trees. Has some coverage. And this trail's a bit more shaded than the old Pinnacles trail. And this is the entrance to the cave. And that sign letting you know that you need a flashlight. And when you get inside the cave, there is a little bit of light pouring down, so you don't immediately need the flashlight. But when you get deeper into the cave, you'll see later on in this video that you're going to need a flashlight. And there's this nice little bridge right there you'll see. And you'll see all these boulders. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out the flashlight and show you the corner of this cave right here. And we're going to go past this bridge right here. And you can see that moss just pouring down that rock wall. And there is some water. Last year when I was here, there wasn't any water in this cave. But there was more rain this year, so there is still some water going throughout this cave. And there are some arrows pointing you as you make your way through. And I'm going to go ahead and pull out the flashlight again to show you what it looks like in here. And there's this nice little ramp bridge that you go through. And of course, more boulders that you have to go underneath. And it's just taking you to the other side of the cave. And a little bit more water pouring down from that side. More boulders laying over. And these boulders are just laying over each other. And then when you get to this part of the cave, there's just more light beaming down through the ceiling of the cave. And pretty soon we're going to go up some stair steps. And from the stair steps, there's actually spots where there's little pools that you could take a look at. And those are the stair steps on the cave. So I'm just going to go up these stair steps. And it's pretty neat how these stairs are just carved out of the rocks. And they have a rail you can hold on to when you're going through the cave. And down there, in this section right here, there's actually a little pool down there. I'll try to show you it. Yeah, it's down there, but it's pretty dark, so you can't really see it. And there's just a lot of spots near the stair steps which have water and little pools. And that's the rest of the way up. And these are the stair steps that are taking us out of it, out of the cave. And just more water pouring down from that side right there. And that section of the cave is closed. But on this section right here, you got to crawl through. And it'll actually take you to the end of the cave. And if you want to hike a little further down, you could go to the reservoir. Or the little lake that they have nearby. And that trail will take you to the High Peaks Trail, which I'll leave a link below of what I did last year on that trail. And you just climb up these stair steps, and that's pretty much the end of the Bear Gulch Cave. The rest of the way will take you up to